again. Rick, come on. All right, get the bounce going. Now, repeat after me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 500 today. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Get it, Courtney.
Get it, Courtney. Get it, Courtney. Get it, Courtney.
My name is Keandra Diggs. I am a recent graduate. I got my degree from public health education.
All right. Question number 1. Which 2 things about the trip have stood out to you the most thus far?
I would say the trip that we went to Boston and Harvard. I had preconceptions about how Harvard is, and they said it was all about grades and going through this presentation with them and everything. It wasn't really about grades, it was about experience, and I was very happy about that. And especially when one of the presenters said that their GPA was very low or something, and it's not up to par, I really felt better, and which broadened my decision based on if I wanted to go to graduate school in another location, even though I got accepted to another graduate school. I had an offer. The second best one would be, I would say going to UPenn, and one of the presenters, one of the ladies that was presenting, she caught my attention, and hearing her story reminded me of my own story, especially being a single mother and going through what I've been through since I was born. And seeing her really made me realize that I can do anything, be anything, and as long as I put my mind into it. So
great answers. All right, question number 2. In a future trip, what do you think should be added or taken away to enhance the trip overall?
Travel agent. I would say being travel agent, but then again, going back to that, I think it was best to have it just because you wanted to learn what your surroundings was. So I would say the next best answer is reflections. I feel like we shouldn't do reflections every day, but I think I'd rather do a reflection to the point that if something that stood out that day, I would write about it. There were some days that I didn't think about, really think about what they were talking about and all that, because sometimes I got really confused with a lot of things. But I do want to add another thing, also to go to places that really tailors to our major is another one. Because we really didn't see much of, education or anything in that nature, or in that public health as much, but I think that would be a change.
Okay. And last but not least, what benefit is the CTHER program getting from bringing students on the trip, or just your overall reflection of the trip and the experiences thus far?
Well, last year when they were supposed to go, I wasn't able to make it due to a sickness. But I would say this overall experience, I've really enjoyed it. And I had thoughts of before that wasn't able to come, but now that it happened for a reason, because I think being in this trip and especially being in this group really increased my public speaking, increased my confidence, increased my awareness. And also I would say that it was fun. I really enjoyed this trip. I feel like this was a graduation trip somewhat, but it really wasn't. But it was worth it at the end. And I mean, I can tell my, children or my children's children that, I had the opportunity to go to New York and experience it. So exposure was very important.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Go.
Hello, my name is Janelle Billingsley and I'm a psychology major.
All right, Chanel. Question number 1. Which 2 things about the trip stand out to you the most thus far and why?
I would say first would be our trip to Harlem. I enjoyed experiencing and seeing all the cultural beauty of Harlem. Oftentimes you have a different picture painting of it, so it was refreshing to see what Harlem is really like. And then also I would say our trip to Phillips Academy. I have an interest in the education of African American youth, and it was great to see a school putting so much effort into their development.
All right, great answer. All right, number 2. In future trips, what do you think CTHER could do to improve the trip or expand it in any aspect?
I would love to spend more time on some of the campuses that we visit. We went to Harvard, and as well as UPenn we got to see a little bit more. But some of the campuses like Columbia we went to and kind of just sat in one room, so it'd be great to see the rest of the campus.
All right. And last but not least, what benefit is the CTHER program getting from bringing students on the trip? What has been your overall reflection of the trip thus far?
I think it's great to be able to see other initiatives that are focusing on health disparities and to see that we're not the only one. So it's great to be exposed to everything else that's being done for health disparities.
All right, great answers. All right.
My name is Courtney Ramsey, and I am studying dietetics at NC Central University.
All right, Courtney, I'm going to ask you some questions about your New York trip experience with CTHER and just give your best answers. All right, question number 1. Which 2 things about the trip stand out the most to you so far, especially it being your first trip to New York City?
Well, one, the amazing amount of things that we have done. They have totally packed in an extreme experience. It's just been one thing after another that has just blown our minds. And 2, the amount of really interesting research that we've been presented.
Great. All right, question number 2. In future trips, what should be added or taken away, you think, to kind of make the trip more effective for the amount of time that we have?
I really enjoy the cultural experiences here. Since a lot of us haven't been here before, it's nice to do more of the just cultural and taking away maybe less bus riding. We had to travel from New Jersey to Boston to Philadelphia and all in a very short period of time, so it was just a little bit overwhelming, I would say.
Okay.
The amount of travel.
All right. And last question. What benefit is the CTHER program getting from bringing students to New York City?
Well, they are definitely providing exposure to the graduate schools here, which I think is a goal for CTHER, and we are also broadening our horizons when it comes to research. There's a lot of things we may not have thought about. There's a lot of things that they're presenting and opening our eyes to a lot of issues that we may not have known about before.
All right. Thanks, Courtney.
Okay.
I'm Shani Roberts. I'm a nursing student. I'm a junior at North Carolina Central University.
All right, Shani. I'm just going to ask you 3 questions about your experience thus far in New York City. Question number 1, which 2 things about the trip stand out to you the most so far?
I would say that the trip to Phillips Academy was the one that stood out to me the most. Seeing that a initiative is like the kids that are growing their own produce, and they're cooking their meals from scratch, and they're having family style dining really spoke to me. Like something that's really common, normal for us to do, can really affect the children in a big way, which is like enhancing their communication skills and helping the children gain work ethic by like having each of them had work responsibilities. Like they would have to clean the table, they would serve their classmates, they would responsible for different things. And the next thing that was the most important was seeing that people from different backgrounds, they didn't all have it all together when they came to graduate school. Like they didn't all know what their final career choice would be, but being that they kept trying to like explore different research opportunities and get different experience. They reapplied to the schools of their choice and they got in, so they kept trying, which really spoke to me personally.
Okay. All right. Question number 2. If you could change anything about the trip thus far and the experiences you've had, what would you change? As far as like maybe adding on a location that you guys go visit or anything like that.
I would go visit the actual school, like the Columbia University. We went just to the School of Public Health. I would prefer to go to this various departments so that it would like cater to the other majors that are in our research courts.
Okay. And last but not least, give us your final reflection of your experience so far, and any other comments you'd like to make about the program.
So far, I've had a wonderful experience. I got a lot of great advice from postdocs and graduate students, and just common advice about networking and work ethic in graduate school. And I learned that you don't have to have just a GPA to get in, but references, experience and stuff like that can take you a long way.
All right, that was a good answer. All right, thank you, Shani.
Thanks.
All right, and
Hi, my name is Deja Young. I'm a double major in mathematics, secondary education, and psychology.
all right. Question number 1: which 2 things about the trip have stood out to you the most thus far?
I would say the main thing that stood out to me when we went to St. Phillips Academy, well, known as Phillips Academy now, was the fact that they're really centered on being healthy and giving the kids healthy food. I remember not too long ago on our CTHER page of Facebook, they put the different school lunches like around the world and how we're the only ones that don't really have healthy food. So I thought that was interesting to have a school based on getting the children accustomed to eating healthy foods.
All right. Question number 2: in future trips, would you add anything to the experience or the experiences that you guys have had so far?
I would add more time to sleep. I appreciate us, being able to go to these different places and see all these beautiful things, but it gets exhausting.
All right. And what is your overall reflection of the CTHER program and your New York trip experience so far?
I'm very thankful.
All right. Okay, that's good enough. Thank you. All right.
Hello, my name is Joshua Kason. How are you all doing? So I am a nursing and Spanish major. I am a senior, thank God.
Woo!
May 2016. So 2 things that I've enjoyed most about this experience on my trip to New York. It will be like the educational pieces that I've gotten to hear on tours. Gotten to see a lot and hear a lot of the history behind how and why New York was started. And also this past few days I visited Harlem twice, Harlem Hospital, and then we did a Harlem tour. And I learned a lot about just the people and richness of that area and how black people kind of were raised up kind of like right before the Renaissance period and just kind of kept on growing. And it seems like it's majority of, black people, and just how at that time they were very wealthy people, owning like houses and just taking care of the area while still like having a high status, such as lawyers, doctors, people also in the science field as well. So I learned a lot. So
All right.
that was that question. Question number 2.
What should be added or taken away from the trip? If you had to change anything about the trip, what would you suggest?
I wouldn't really change anything. I think it's great that we have our freedom as well, so we're able to venture off and go see different things and learn things for ourselves. It would be great if we did kind of have like points of contacts for like the different parts of New York City. So like if there was somebody that we might know in the Bronx or Brooklyn that might be able to kind of let us know or kind of give us a tour of the area or let us know different events going on.
Okay.
So learning more events would be good too.
All right. And the last question, what benefit is the CTHER program getting from bringing students on the trip? What is your overall reflection of, this experience?
My overall reflection is that I know I've seen a lot of colleges, never thought I would see this early on or this soon. We went to Dartmouth, Harvard, been to Columbia, and I've actually learned a lot and been influenced by those people that share their experiences that are currently in grad school and also share their research. So it's very motivating and just makes you look into wanting to do more and find out more and find out what my actual area is that I should be staying in and researching in.
All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Larissa Williams, and I'm a senior at North Carolina Central University in the Foods and Nutrition Department. I'm studying to be a dietitian right now. A part of CTHER, I work for the Diabetes Family Project, where we research the relationship between family and the management of diabetes.
All right, Larissa. So I'm just going to ask you 3 questions about your New York trip experience with CTHER. Question number 1, which 2 things about the trip stand out the most for you so far?
So the 2 major things that stand out to me about this trip has been, number 1, just the experience, period, that we've been able to get. I've been very grateful to be able to come on this trip. I know in my past I haven't had any experience like this before, so I'm just grateful to be able to come out and get this opportunity to not just travel, but to learn about the different graduate programs, the schools that are out there, and the different research that the schools have to offer, as well as the opportunity to travel and see different things that I've never seen before. The second thing that I think is important is the unity that I didn't realize would occur amongst the group. It's been really great getting to know everybody.
All right. Question number 2. In future trips, what would you want to add or maybe take away to enhance the trip?
I can't really think of anything to take away. I mean, it's been tiring, of course, because you're always on the road traveling. Maybe trying to get back a little bit earlier in time to do your reflections so that we can have time to explore a little bit, but maybe that could just be managing our time. Adding anything, honestly, everything was honestly great. I mean, it was well organized, it was well planned. Even from the traveling thing, it was kind of hard at first. It was pressure for everybody to have to learn how to travel on their own. But I think it helps you in the future and give you independence. So honestly, I don't know. I can't think of anything really that could be added or taken away. Maybe just time to rest a little bit and explore a little bit more.
All right, that was a great answer. Number 3, what benefit is the CTHER program providing you in itself by bringing students on the New York trip? So what would be your overall reflection of the trip?
By bringing students here for CTHER, I feel like all the schools that we've been able to visit has opened our eyes to the research that is that correlates with our own research. So going out to St. Philip's and Columbia and Penn State and even Harvard up to Dartmouth, each school we've been to has the same type of research. Even at St. Philip's Academy, there was the school is so awesome and they have so many great things there, but there's nobody there to help do research for that school. And I feel like as a benefit to CTHER, we could probably help them and maybe work hand in hand with them to help them get some of their research stuff. And it will benefit CTHER and it will also benefit the school. As far as it benefiting the kids, of course, us, like I said again, it's a great traveling experience, unity, everything. I'm just grateful for the opportunity again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Naisha Hicks and my major is elementary education.
All right, Naisha. Question number 1, which 2 things about the trip stand out to you the most thus far?
Well, the first thing was going to visit the different colleges and universities. I've never been to Harvard, so I thought it was just awesome. And the second part was really doing everything with the rest of the CTHER family, as I call it. Because I'm an education major, I really didn't get to, bond with the rest of the CTHER participants. So being up here and going different places with them, kind of made us a little family. So I thought that was good.
All right. Question number 2, would there be anything you would want to add to the trip for future participants in the program?
I didn't think there was anything that I wanted to add necessarily. We went to different universities and we heard different things about health disparities. So I thought it was pretty good overall.
All right. And last but not least, would you like to give any reflections of your overall experience and the CTHER program thus far?
One reflection I like to give was us having to find our way throughout the city. That was difficult at first, but we kind of got it, having to be the travel agent for the day. I would say that I found my way around the city. I probably know my way around New York City and New Jersey better than I do around Durham. So that was pretty good.
All right. Well, any other things you have to say?
No. I'm glad I graduated.
All right. Thank you.
CTHER, CTHER, Center for Translational Health Equality Research. CTHER, Center for Translational Health Equality Research. CTHER, Center for Translational Health Equality Research.